Hello guys. So we are about to start a session to learn the basics of Angular. So here we will learn what is app module class and all other declarations details required to bootstrap an Angular application. Here we will also understand the different types of imports used in the root module class. So guys, let's start the session. So the first topic is app module. So guys, app module is also called the root module of your application, and the root module is denoted by App.Module.ts, which is your TypeScript a class where you will declare all those modules, and then at the last you have to export it to be used by the your other components of your class. So guys, I have created few notes for you that will help you to understand these terms closely. So guys, the first point I have written, like, an application starts only by bootstrap launching the root module class. So this is a must to start an application. So guys, once you create an Angular application, it require a root module a class, which is basically the startup class of your application. It will have all the configurations details library that you have used and which you want your other component to be used, so that in last you can just export all your dependency. So guys, the second point is an Angular application must have at least one Angular module. So guys, this is must. At least one module m- should have in your Angular application, so that your Angular application know how to launch your application. So what's in the app module? So this class has the below detail. It has the other module detail that is used in your application, such as routing, browser. This class also has like detail like declaration of app components and any other user defined component in your application. By default, the app component should be there, and you can create any number of component based on the functionality. Like for a department, you create one component. For getting the list of the employees, you create an other component, and you can declare all those component in your App.Module.ts class. So at last, it has also the bootstrap detail, which is used to launch your application. You need to declare the component uh, that will you can say it is the startup component of your application. So at last, it tells how Angular fits your various component like module, components, bootstrap details together. So guys, this is an example of code that is present in your Angular in your App.Module.ts class. To start with, it imports few assemblies like ng module. Uh, it basically import from the assembly angular.core, and like for the browser module, like how your application run on a browser like Chrome, IE. So you require to import some a browser module. So this is the class which you require from the library called Angular Platform Browser. So there is same, that is the default component, and there is one more module like for the routing. If you want to create the routing of your application, so you can use this routing module. So guys, next is at the rate ng module. So this represents this class, and in which it has like three properties: imports, declaration, bootstrap. So to start with imports, here you need to declare all the other module except ng modules, which is required to be used in your application. Like browser module, you require to run your application in the browser. Routing module you require for the routing purpose. For each link you can create some routes, that is why you need this module. And like the second is the declaration. Here here you need to declare all the components of your application. So by default, there is app component which is declared. So app in I mean the app component is the default component for your application. If you want to create any other component like create employee component, department component, travel component, so you can create it and you can just add those component here in the declaration array. Just the comma separated components will work here. But at last you need to define the bootstrap. So bootstrap, uh, you can see here here app component is declared. So when the application runs, it looks for the bootstrap, and here like it is app component is mentioned. So it will in browser in DOM, it will create the DOM for your app component, and whatever the HTML code was there, it will be displayed. So at last you need to export this class to be used by the other component. So guys, these are the basic code, and let's just understand what the difference between this import and this imports. So guys, let's understand what the difference between the import and imports. So like the import statement give you to access to all the classes module which is exported by other assemblies. So you can reference them within your application, within your app module. So here example is Angular.core, Angular platform browser. So basically guys, import, uh, what it will do, it will import any assembly into your application like Angular.core, and you can use any of the classes that is defined under Angular core for any new functionality, and same goes for the platform browser assembly. So you can just import the full assembly, and in your application you can use a few features of those assemblies. So guys, let's move to the next one, like imports. So imports inside ng module basically tells Angular to use any specific Angular module, okay, like browser module and app routing uh, module. So guys, imports, you can say it is one of the class of your main assemblies. Like browser module is one of the class, it is one of the feature, it is one of the functionality of the main assembly, that is Angular platform browser. This is the whole assembly and this is one of the functionalities. So here we declare in imports like which sub modules we require to use in our application. So here we have choose browser module and app routing modules. So guys, at last, I mean, how to correlate import and imports, the both, I mean, these both things, import and this imports, using a C sharp. So for the C sharp guys, they can correlate it very easily. Import is like assembly system.io. You must have used this assembly for the purpose being, I mean, in case you want to work on the file. So import is like system.io, which is the main assembly, wherever imports means file class, file stream class, path class, which are the few classes inside the main assembly, that is system.io. So system.io you can link with the import, and file you can import with this import. So you must remember, like in C sharp, we at the start we write like using then space system.io. So this import, this Angular core is equivalent to that system using system.io, and afterward when we use any class of system.io, that is the file class, so you can correlate it with the imports. So guys, imports means you have imported few feature, classes or sub module from the main assembly or from the main module that you want to use in your application. Okay, though these sub modules feature is, as I told, could be browser module, app routing module, and the main assembly we have already listed, like angular.core, angular.platform or browser. So guys, this is it in this session where we have learned the root module of Angular application and all those declaration that is required inside that class. So guys, in next session we will start writing the code using the Visual Studio Code. Thanks guys.